This is Matthew Cratter from Trade University, and today I want to investigate whether Binance is in trouble. There are a lot of rumors swirling, and there's a lot going on, so I wanted to just bring everyone up to speed. As we talked about it back in December of last year, the U.S. Justice Department has been looking at going after CZ, who's the founder of Binance, and CZ is one of those few people in the world I think that both the U.S. government hates and the Chinese Communist Party, the CC Party, hates as well and is going after. So he's in a pretty bad position there. Now, in February of this year, Paxos received a Wells notice from the SEC, basically warning them that they were about to get sued for issuing the stablecoin BUSD, which is the Binance US dollar stablecoin. And the New York Department of Financial Services ordered Paxos to stop minting more of these stablecoins. Now, how does this affect Binance? Well, it affects Binance in many ways because it set off a bit of a chain reaction as well. Coinbase ended up delisting the stablecoin from their platform, and we can see that the market cap of this Binance US dollar stablecoin has fallen from close to 23 billion down to 8 or 9 billion. Now, why does this matter? Probably because this has almost certainly been a major profit center for Binance. Back when it had a market cap of 23 billion, the way they do is they back these with securities like U.S. Treasuries, for example. So let's just assume that they were backed. Let's assume it was fully backed, which it probably was, with T-bills that were yielding 5%. 23 billion market cap for Binance stablecoin, that would be over $1 billion in annual revenue for Binance. So maybe it's not quite this much, maybe it was half or a quarter, but it's still a major profit center for Binance that's going away as the US government is trying to stomp out BUSD, and it's being delisted from other exchanges as well, like Coinbase. If you're enjoying this video so far, I just ask you to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button especially, and leave a comment. There's a recent comment in just a couple days ago, an official from the SEC said that Binance USA is operating an unregistered securities exchange, what we call a crypto casino. This is definitely a bad sign. This was actually part of a different hearing. This was part of the Voyager bankruptcy hearing, but we got a window into how the SEC is thinking about companies like Binance and companies like Coinbase, that these are basically what we've been saying the whole time. These are unregistered securities exchanges, and as such are going to have to make major changes or be shut down. But it actually gets even worse than that. The Wall Street Journal published an article a couple days ago showing how Binance Global, or Binance International, the international company, was much more tightly interconnected with Binance US than previously assumed. And the way a lot of these companies set things up, they try to make their US a subsidiary much more standing on its own feet, and so they can have certain U.S. regulation for that entity and then avoid it outside. So they try to maintain a wall or a moat between these two things. Wall Street Journal published an article here quoted in the New York Times saying that Binance and Binance US have been much more intertwined than the companies have disclosed, mixing staff and finances and sharing an affiliated entity that bought and sold cryptocurrencies. According to interviews, blah, blah, blah. Binance developers in China maintain the software code supporting Binance US users' digital wallets, potentially giving Binance access to US customer data. So this wall between the two companies was very thin indeed. And then there's some text messages that came out talking about how the Binance team was trying to recruit Gary Gensler, and also how they were trying to avoid US regulation. Citing an internal presentation entitled "Insulate Binance from U.S. Enforcement," the Wall Street Journal noted that Binance wanted to stress that Binance US, established in 2019 under a Delaware company, a different name, was merely a company that would license Binance's technology and brand. That company, however, was reportedly controlled by CZ himself. To make it even worse, Binance, the parent company, reportedly had secret access to the U.S. arms to Binance US bank account. And so basically this was all just a front. Binance US really is, as everyone assumed, controlled by CZ and controlled by the global parent company. Now, we've talked about BUSD, Binance US dollar, which is the stable coin that trades at $1 until it doesn't. But we're going to talk now about their exchange coin called BNB. And this is one that's very, very important. Currently has a market cap of close to 46 billion. And this is one of the pillars underpinning the exchange. If this were ever to go, the exchange would be in serious trouble, presumably, in the same way that FTT, once it collapsed, then that brought down the parent exchange, which was FTX. So BNB is really the equivalent. It's the exchange token for Binance in the same way that FTT was the exchange token for FTX. Now, this exchange token BNB will only hold its value as long as people believe that Binance is a going concern and will be able to keep its doors open. If people ever started to believe that Binance, either the US version of the company or the global company, was in trouble and they started to dump their BNB, even if Binance were not actually in trouble, this could become a self-fulfilling prophecy, much in the way that the collapse of FTT helped to bring down FTX. It's hard to overestimate how risky it is to hold an exchange token like this, like FTT or like BNB. This was one of the reasons we talked about yesterday of Kyle Salami blowing up his hedge fund. He was holding a lot of FTT. And the same thing happened, as we said, with FTX's exchange token FTT when it collapsed. BNB is the equivalent. If BNB collapses, here's the real question, and we don't know the answer to it, but you should be thinking about this if you have any customer funds over at Binance US or elsewhere. Does Binance have enough assets left over to return customer deposits if BNB collapses? Do you want to stick around long enough to find out the hard way? Here's a great tweet from Corey Clipston over at Swan Bitcoin, and he's retweeting Willy Woo asking whether Binance will be doing an independent audit on liabilities. And CZ responded to him saying liabilities are harder. We don't owe any loans to anyone. Corey points out a very good point here that a centralized crypto casino like Binance, the real liabilities on that side of the balance sheet are all of the customer assets. This is what, when you put money on an exchange, they owe it to you to give it back to you at some point. And Binance owes tens of billions of dollars to its users. So this is always the question, does the company have more assets than it has liabilities? And it looks like CZ forgot to mention that his customer deposits are liabilities, or it sort of slipped his mind, or maybe he just wasn't included in it under loans. But this is the balance here. And on the asset side, we have BNB. We don't know how stable it will stay. It's always a good idea not to be the last guy out of the door when there's a fire inside the house, as some of you discovered, for example, with Celsius. People who got out too late, even if they were able to get out, there's this cloud hanging over everyone, whether there will be clawbacks, and even if you got your money back, will Celsius be able to claw it back? And I think this may be true for some other services as well. So you definitely want to get out of these places sooner rather than later. How is Binance responding to this? They are calling for an industry-wide action to boost trust in crypto. Good luck with that, CZ. I think you mean boost trust that the SEC is not going to shut down Binance US, or maybe you mean boost trust in unregistered securities controlled by insiders that trade on your crypto casino, including BNB. Fortunately, we Bitcoiners don't need to trust anyone or anything. We verify rather than trusting. We hold our own private keys. We run our own full nodes, and we don't have to lie awake at night worrying whether a particular exchange that's holding our coins is going to implode, whether Vitalik or Hoskinson's spaghetti code is going to have a massive failure. This is what proof of stake is about, securing your cryptocurrency through software and really complex code. The news may be about to get much worse for crypto. There may be more Wells notices coming. It's a little bit ambiguous. There were these comments dropped by the bankless guys who basically rugged all of their listeners last year. All of their sponsors went under for the most part, and these were the same guys who were crying about that. But they recently reported that there may have been Wells notices, this similar notification by the SEC that your company is about to get sued, that these have been sent out to the teams of major DeFi protocols, and they called out Lido Finance in particular, the staking service for Ethereum. And then they sort of backtracked on some of the comments. So it's a little bit unclear, but we have seen that Wells notice go out to Paxos, and there may have been one go out to Binance as well. And these rumors keep swirling that these are going out to some of the DeFi protocols as well. So we will see. But if you are holding Bitcoin in cold storage, this is not something you have to worry about. If you're going to buy Bitcoin, use a Bitcoin-only exchange like Swan Bitcoin, River Financial, Strike. I'm not being paid or compensated by any of them. And what you do is you get your money on there, let it settle, buy your Bitcoin, and then withdraw the Bitcoin immediately and hold it on a hardware wallet like a Blockstream Jade or a ColdCard. If you're leaving less than $250,000 on one of those exchanges like Swan or River, you will not, you'll be covered by US FDIC insurance. So you just let it settle there. And then as soon as it turns into Bitcoin, though, you want to withdraw it and put it on a hardware wallet. If you found this video helpful, be sure to hit that subscribe and like button. Hit the notification bell if you want to be notified when I publish my next video. And let me know your questions and comments in the comment section below. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.